Well, I'm Caraline Shed. I'm 22 years old. I am a recent graduate with a degree in Communications and Media Arts, and I'm currently getting my second degree in event management. I was diagnosed officially with fibromyalgia when I was 19. I was a freshman in college. I started showing symptoms when I was around 16. I was a sophomore in high school, which is the prime of your life, basically, so it's kind of the worst time to start feeling like a 90-year-old.
The thing about living with fibromyalgia is that you're living with an invisible illness. On the outside, I look like any normal 22-year-old, but on the inside, I'm constantly struggling to manage my pain.
Fibromyalgia is a chronic pain illness, and chronic meaning lifelong, all day, every day. It basically affects every part of your body, some more than others. For me, it's everywhere and anywhere, and sometimes it concentrates on my shoulders and my back, my hands. From fibromyalgia, you can have other diseases that stem off of your fibro. For example, I have seasonal affective disorder. I have Raynaud's disease, which makes your hands really cold, which is really awful. I have arthritis. I have at least 7 other diseases that stem off of fibromyalgia. So, including fibromyalgia, I have 8 different medical conditions. I have continued to try to stay as active as possible. It's just very difficult. It's very difficult as well to come to terms with the fact that I'm 22 and I can't do a lot of the things that I used to, and I can't do a lot of things that I still want to. So that's hard to come to terms with. The day I was diagnosed, I went in kind of knowing that she was going to tell me I had fibromyalgia, because the way they diagnose you is test you for everything else other than fibromyalgia, because they just rule all that other stuff out. So I know that all my test results were negative, so I basically knew going in that I was going to be diagnosed with fibromyalgia that day. And I went into it thinking positively that I was going to get some options like physical therapy and taking supplements, because I knew that I did not want to take that medicine. I had looked up the side effects and they just weren't something I was interested in going through. Some of the side effects were like suicidal thoughts, depression. Even though there were like antidepressants, they do the opposite sometimes if they're not treating that specific thing. So I wasn't depressed at that point. So I was like, why do I need to take an antidepressant? She basically told me, you have fibromyalgia, now you just have to learn to live with it. And I took that as a very negative thing. I took it as, I can't help you anymore, so just kind of like deal with it on your own. And then she tried to prescribe me an antidepressant, which I right off the bat said I did not want to take. And I pushed the prescription back across the table at her after begging for physical therapy just to try. And I walked out of the office crying and called my mom, and I just had a mental breakdown, and I said, this isn't fair. Why would you do this to me? I'm not crazy. Like, you're telling me I have something and you're not giving me options. When I've researched, I know there's other options. Currently, there is no actual cure for fibromyalgia, and the treatments it's a wide spectrum of treatments. Every person's journey with fibromyalgia is different, so you have to really find what's right for you in terms of treatment. A lot of people go for the medications because I feel like that's just a simple answer. I'm not saying it's the easy way out, but it's something that's, here you go, try this. But a lot of the time, they don't really work right for that person, or they have different side effects, and that's why I'm currently not on that type of medication. I try to take as little medication as possible. I take what I really need, and then I just throw everything else away. Not really. I just choose not to take medicine because I like to keep my body as like clean of, I don't want to say like artificial things, but I mean medication is pretty like artificial when you think about it. I take a lot of supplements, so everything from vitamin D to just a everyday 1-a-day supplement. Iron. A lot of the time people are anemic with fibromyalgia. I think if I add it up now, I think I take 10. I take 5 in the morning, 5 at night. Like I said, there's no cure, so you have to find little fixes.
I do a lot of essential oils, which really helps. They can either be taken orally, like I put some in my drink, that's what you saw. Or you can put them on like different points of pain and it'll help you. Like that's why I said with aromatherapy, if you use like lavender, that helps a lot. Also like peppermint gets rid of like a lot of different problems you might have. So,
well, let me tell you what I've tried, and then let me tell you what I've like stuck with, because you definitely have to like try everything to see what fits for you, because you don't try, you never know. So the things I've tried are yoga, Pilates, physical therapy, aromatherapy, aquatherapy. The things that work for me and that I stuck with is light exercise, aromatherapy, and aquatherapy. You feel like you weigh more than you really do. Like you kind of feel like you're like picking a boulder up in the morning. Like lifting your head off the pillow is like just a daunting task to do. There's days that I just wake up and I can't move. I can't get out of bed. That determines whether I go to school. It determines whether I go to work. It determines whether I can feed myself that day, depending if anyone's home to help me. Next to my bed is like a treasure trove of like anything I would need if I wasn't able to get out of bed. Living in a place that is cold for a longer period of time than normal, if I walk outside and my legs aren't fully insulated, like I'm not wearing leggings and then jeans, my body gets so cold, mostly in my legs, because of Raynaud's disease, which just has poor like blood flow to your extremities. I will be just walking, or I'll go from sitting to standing, and my legs will be so cold that my legs don't work anymore, and I just kind of like tip over like a tree. So recently, when I was walking across campus, it was so cold that while walking through a crosswalk with cars around me, I took a step and my legs were so cold I couldn't move anymore. So I just kind of did this like step ladder thing where I was just like going down very quickly. I didn't tip over like a tree, but I did very quickly fall over. And there was a lot of cars around me, like I said, and it was very terrifying. One, because I didn't know what was happening to my body, and two, because there was a lot of vehicles around me that were moving, and I was very terrified that they wouldn't see me and that I would get hit. So I went to Salt Lake City, Utah in October of 2014, and I attended the Leaders Against Pain Action Network training program. And they worked in conjunction with the National Fibromyalgia and Chronic Pain Association. I don't even actually really remember how I found out about it. I had recently broken up with my boyfriend, My boyfriend had recently broken up with me at the time, and so I was looking for just like things to do to distract myself, and it was a time where I could really do things for myself now and just focus on me. And I think an email came my way that said there was a conference for Leaders Against Pain Action Network training conference in Salt Lake City, Utah. And I've always wanted to travel. I've never been off the East Coast. So I was like, well, I might as well just apply and see what happens. So I applied, and I actually got put on the waiting list. And I was like, well, at least I put myself out there and did it. And then some of the other ladies weren't able to go, so I was asked to attend. You're in a room filled with people who understand what you're going through, and I just never had that before, so it was a really calming feeling to have, to be like, I'm not crazy. Look, you have the same problems that I have. And we had a lot of different speakers come in, and people from the NFMCPA and LAP to talk about ways to better advocate for the disease or for the condition, because it's a very hard thing to speak about and have people want to listen, because it's not very well respected, I guess, as a condition by a lot of doctors, which is really frustrating for patients because you have to be your own advocate. So that was very good to have had the training to know how to better advocate for myself, better advocate for others, and to be a leader now. The way I wanted to spread awareness and education is the idea I had when I was actually at the conference was to start a blog. I'd always wanted to start a blog because I just thought they were like a way to get out there to people, a way to share what you know through writing. So I started the Living Tree blog. The whole tree thing is a reference I use to fibromyalgia. Just you have to have a strong trunk, and that's where your fibromyalgia sits. Then you have a lot of branches, which is all your other medical conditions that stem off of that. And then you have little leaves, which is like your friends and your family and your support groups that just kind of like help you grow, because that's how photosynthesis works.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, mine was horrible! I'm done. Pull it harder.
In the future, in the near future, I hope there is at least a better diagnostic tool, and obviously we all hope for a cure. We are in the works, I'm a doctor and I'm working on this, but there are doctors that are believers, like it's a religion, I swear. There are doctors that are working hard at getting a blood test that is available to everyone. If we have a blood test that is concrete evidence that says you have fibromyalgia, it is in your blood, we know this, then there's not going to be able to be a doctor that says, I don't believe in it. You don't believe in test results? Because I think that's what doctors kind of have to believe in. So I always strive to educate. I'm never afraid to talk to someone about it if they have questions. If they don't have questions, I'll just talk their ear off about it anyways. I like to learn more every day myself, so I'm always online looking up new articles. The Facebook pages that we have for a lot of different things share a lot of articles, so I'm always reading up on those. I'm trying to stay as educated as possible, not only for myself but to educate others. So.